I apologize, I have very bad throat. Get my voice out. Our team is Vish, myself, Santosh, Andy, he's out today on work, and Casey is all the way in the back. Our project idea basically, as the name suggests, is photo tweeting. Trying to come up with a social networking tool similar to Facebook and Twitter, but with a significant or a unique change. The problem that we've identified is basically regarding the privacy. As everyone knows, there is a huge discussion and debate going on, day in, day out on Twitter, Facebook, and all about the fake profiles that people create. So that's what we have identified as a big topic of discussion and concern. And the solution that we are planning to come up with is the PhotoTweet experimentation that we have planned on is basically using iterative experiments, getting data results first before we jump into creating. Here are some of the statistics that I pulled online. As you can see, the biggest is the one on top there. There are about 83 million Facebook accounts that are fake. And this is all there online. And the interesting one I found was the first one there, which says 100,000 accounts or Twitter accounts which were following Mitt Romney right after his nomination. And the other thing we were also looking at was Pinterest, but it also had some issues with privacy, which says spammers were evolving from this. So the thought process that we put into this was, as you can see, the need as I discussed, and we basically propose communicating through photos, like having the messages encrypted in the photos, and authenticating the user, whoever is trying to access the messages. If I'm sending a message to Vish, I'll probably send it as a photograph. The message will be encrypted, and he will have only he will have the authentication to view the message. No one else can actually view the message unless he clears the authentication. And as I mentioned, we are planning to run some experiments. Actually, we have run some experiments which are kind of offline because we don't really have the tool up and running already, like the web page. And then we have some very particular testing results. And once we have good understanding of what the feel is, what the pulse is of the users, and how many are really interested in it, we plan to do that and as expected, these are some of the analogs and analogs. I would say both analogs and analogs because the more of communication, not communication, but the more of working is similar to what Facebook and Twitter is, just social communication, social networking tool. You have a group of friends, you want to just send them a message, you want to post something so that everyone can see. So the concept is basically similar, but with the unique touch, as I mentioned, is getting rid of the privacy issues that we have with Facebook and Twitter. And I also have Instagram and Pinterest as analogs because they use photographs, as everyone is aware, and I'm pretty sure most of you are part of Instagram too, wherein you can take your pictures and just share it with your friends. So that's why I have both of these. We have both of these in there as analogs and analogs because we pick information, we pick the source, or we pick the idea from one of these, and we also have what not to do from most of these.
So, as Santosh said, basically what we are trying to address here is not the way people interact or use the social tool. What we are trying to basically differentiate ourselves is to basically make the social environment much more safer to use. And we found that the easiest medium to authenticate is photo. Words cannot be authenticated. It's very hard to see if you're tweeting from a fake profile. Especially celebrities find this very intrusive in that they have many fake profiles. The need for this mainly came from where I come from. From India, coming from India, a land of a billion, you have fake profiles. You do have those issues. So people get killed by fake profiles. They just lure these people. So it's got to a point where it's almost a cybercrime there. So we thought we would address that. And photos is the easiest way because photo can be decrypted, they can be authenticated, and also the source. If you register your computer or your laptop or your smartphone, you can actually IP address can be easily copied, hacked into. So we thought we would actually authenticate it using the product ID of your laptops or your PC, which is unique to your laptop, and also the photo itself. Uh, uh, so one of the methods that I'm looking at right now, my wife is a programmer, so we both are working on it. And I have a friend from my company that I'm discussing is using thermal imaging to actually the first part of it is fake profiles is using morph pictures. The other part is actually using your original picture but by a fake user just copied over from it. So for morph pictures, I'm actually using I'm experimenting with various thermal imaging systems that emit heat sources from the contours of the photo. So if it's morphed, it's going to emit the morphed portion of the image is going to actually emit a different optical. It's going to give a different read in terms of thermal heat maps and compared to the original unmarked part of the picture. So we are currently experimenting all this ideas. The hard part is all of them are math models. To actually develop them into code takes some serious time. So we are doing it as much as possible, and we are also going forward. So I have also gone on and created a blog with a feel of how the user interface is going to be. So basically, we are not going into a complicated user interface. We just want to make it easy to use interface. So as soon as a person you log in there, the green star there actually shows that you're an authentic user, and then you tweet this photo. As soon as the idea is as soon as you click on the photo, the chat box pops up saying what it's actually, what the message is. And at the bottom, if you see the user PhotoTweet that, that's also, if it comes up with a green star, it means it's coming from an authentic user. The same person, if you have a different username and you come a photo and it's not authenticated, it comes up with a red star. It's pretty simple, but the focus is actually not on the user interface, but we are just wanting to get feedback. So I actually opened this blog and created an abstract template for this to get feedback. If you guys can give your feedback to the blog, it would be helpful to me because I'm actually looking forward to working with idea. The problem with our idea not having a website, the reason is because most of the products, ideas are shown on products, and that were physical products, and you just have to open the website. But in our case, our product itself is on the website.
So the technology, so the technology is to verify the uniqueness of people posting things. So I can't just go on and say, oh, I'm Tom Cruise. That's what's going on?
No. It's not Tom Cruise, it's someone's name, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So it's from your known circles. The idea is to differentiate a user that you know is coming from a genuine source and someone who claims to be the person you know, but tweeting from a different location. So that's why I said there are two ways of looking at this. The one way is of authenticating the profile photo of the person who is tweeting, and the second stage to that is actually authenticating the location and the device that the person is tweeting from.
So you want to, so the spoofing helps, and so help me understand if you don't mind. So let's presume for a moment that I have a social network, and it has 3 people, and I'm a little, the part I'm puzzled about is, given the fact that I choose to follow people, how I'm going to be spoofed. So there's some part of this I'm not getting, and you can just help me understand that. So I have 3 people, and I share photos with them, and they share photos with me. And I totally get that maybe you register my social network based on the device ID. So certainly the network knows that something is occurring with the device that I have. We got that, right? And now I have 3 people, and they also are device enabled. How and why am I worried about someone, like, who's the person that I don't know, that I haven't?
So it's essentially, the person you don't know is the person you don't know. But what I'm talking about is them
Taking my identity.
yeah.
So my worry is that I'm wandering around doing whatever I'm doing, and someone will...
Someone, while you're on the move, is claiming to be you, so stealing your identity, your password, everything.
Got it.
And they try.
Yeah, let's say as an example, you have it on your phone, and someone somehow hacks your ID and password, and you go on a different computer or somewhere else, and they try to, log in or
Okay, so the problem is I have let's pretend that my phone doesn't have a passcode on it. Let's pretend that I have Twitter, and let's pretend that I have an auto login for Twitter. The fear is I leave my phone here, right, and some unscrupulous MBA person like you gets on and says, Bill Schultz sucks balls, right, and then it goes to Bill Schultz. That's the problem, right? Is that the problem you're trying to solve? Okay. And okay, so that's the problem we're trying to solve.
Basically, in a nutshell, we are trying to solve the problem of online identity.
I'm with you. That seems a reasonably important thing to solve. So now the phone still is unencrypted, and there's still Twitter on it. And now I just leave it over here, and I'm like, go ahead, do whatever you want. Go ahead and try to do something, Smarty. Right? Bill Schultz sucks my balls on there. And you got it. And how does your stuff make him not do that?
That is a problem you don't have a solution to that yet.
Oh, okay, so that's
So if
totally
you-
cool.
if you-
But what's the solution that you do have the problem for?
So the solution that I do have the problem for is someone logging in as you from a different.
Perfect. So now I'm sitting here. He sees me type in my computer. He
Yeah,
gets on Twitter and
exactly.
he watches me type my secret password behind me, and then he unscrupulously writes, "Bill Schultz sucks my balls."
But he'll be able to verify it because
Got it. Because of the device ID. Okay. Now, so we know what the problem is.
I think this, I don't use dating services, but to me this would be pretty interesting if you're like trying to hook up with, some guy or gal, and you want to make sure that the picture that's actually there is.
it's exactly the problem you're trying to.
Catfish. What's that mean?
I think we got stuck on the wrong half of it. Like,
Yeah.
we were enamored by this picture of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'm lost. I'm lost.
It's actually not that little picture. Yeah,
So we're anti-talent, good over there.
Right, so the lead-in, let me pretend I'm you. So the first slide is, did anyone pay attention to the internets recently? The Twitters was down. I don't know whether any of you noticed that on Tuesday, but the Twitters were down. The Twitters were down because someone hacked into the Associated Press and did something about Obama, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't that suck? Yes. Well, my cool social network, that will never happen because we have magic device technology that prevents unscrupulous guys like him from logging in to any other computer. That's the problem. Okay, I like that problem. Okay.
I have a question. Does it prevent or does it actually just identify through the color scheme that you have whether or not it's actually used?
Yep, it actually identifies the color scheme that it is the right user. But in a different way, it also prevents the user in a way that Rob showed, that you cannot actually prevent someone logging in as Rob from his device if you lose it. But you can actually, what you can prevent is one part of the problem. Is someone sitting behind Rob watching him type his password, knowing the password and logging in from his device.
So to answer your question, well, that is something that we haven't really gone into yet. It's coming for future and future. But maybe what we can take from that is block that person. Like once, obviously, if someone logs in, like Rob's ID, unscrupulous person logs in and enters something, it does show up, but it has a red flag saying that it's not real. It's somebody fake. So the next time that person tries to do it, it's blocked.
Oh, okay.
It never comes. Does it answer the question?
Yes, I agree.
The hard part was vectoring in what the problem is. Go ahead.
So,
Oh, no, just a suggestion for maybe the case where it's your device that was stolen and when you get in, that you can use the camera. I mean, is that something you consider? You can use the camera whenever somebody posts that, it's like, oh,
face recognition.
yeah, face recognition, it is Rob.
So let me give you a simple use case. Stars, celebrities, other secure people, right? That's your, so if I'm famous celebrity X, I want to use this. One thing I'm not convinced of is that you need to build another social network yet. What I'm more convinced of is that you sit as a layer of abstraction above the existing stream. Right.
You're just creating that buffer between between the two users that makes it harder for a user B thinking to be user A.
So what I want to be clear about to make sure that I understand, and that by definition they understand so they can help you. It's conceivable that you could be not creating a social network, you're merely creating an abstraction layer above it such that we really are talking about Twitter. Right? We're talking about, I'm locked to using Twitter to this phone. An unscrupulous guy can't get it. And I have another feature that you just described, which is I have a second layer of security, which is camera phone
Or
retinal or fingerprint, right? And so I really am not going to go to another social network. I'm really going to post on Twitter. And step A is I go to my application to post on Twitter, and it says, well, I know that it's you, Rob, because you're using the device that you want. But I also know that you're a paranoid freaker man who's afraid that unscrupulous guy is going to steal your phone, so put your fingerprint down.
Okay.
Do you follow?
Yeah.
So I think you think that you're going to build a social network. I'm suggesting that you're actually building something potentially really, really cool, which is a series of user optional solutions to hacking. One of which is, for example, the first obvious one is to have a better password. Right? Done. Right? No shit. Right? The second level is I would have the option to lock posts to specific devices. Third option would be lock posts to specific devices and have a thumbprint verification or even a special to pass. I'm just working through the problems. And then, and why I might want that is for the obvious reasons that I don't want other people spoofing my stuff.
It's just different layers of protection.
Right. And if you did that, that to me seems valuable.
So is the reason you were thinking of a new social network because there's so many fakes in the existing ones?
No, so we want to tap into the social network. So let me ask you this question. Have you used Viber? Have any of you used Viber?
I'm assuming that that's some.
That's a smartphone-based app that you can call and text for free. Absolutely free. Okay? And have any of you used WhatsApp? Heard of it? Okay. Google recently valued WhatsApp at 1 billion. Viber and WhatsApp are essentially the same features. But why is WhatsApp valued at 1 billion and Viber is not? Both are the same features. Both are free. Both are messaging services. Both are free.
Security features.
No idea.
The only reason why WhatsApp is valued more than Viber is because WhatsApp integrates voice recognition, messaging, phone call, all under the one roof. Viber does not. Viber is just a messaging service. But essentially, they both compete for the same space. So that's what I'm trying to do. Twitter, Facebook, everything competes for the same space of social media. One more, maybe not gonna make a difference. But where I can, that's where I did a rough survey, and we got this result. So if you see this three question at the bottom, you'll see that 43% of the respondents in our survey said that they were very excited about having another social media with this differentiation of privacy. And 35% said somewhat interested and excited, but they do have that interest. So that essentially makes 78% of my respondents somewhat interested in this idea. So the key is
mitigate fake profiles. So the worry here is that I'm worried that other people are going to send me stuff and it's fake. Is that right?
Other people can steal your identity and say I'm Robert.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand the problem you're solving. If the problem is I'm worried about fake Floyd Landis, the cyclist, I don't care about that because that's not important to me. I do care about other people hijacking my existing online presence.
that's what I'm trying to solve.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm trying to solve. Rob, another person posing as Rob, answering for Rob without Rob's knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Questions?
You guys are doing a difficult job of explaining that, but I understand the problem that you're attacking.
So essentially we are just trying to use the potential in the social media right now. That's for our, that's basically what the business is. But we are trying to differentiate it by mitigating this issue of fake profiles. We are differentiating that aspect, but still tapping onto the potential of the social media. Because we feel as we go forward, people are more mobile. They're not finding the time to directly meet. This is going to be the platform they need, especially in the age of cloud computing. The potential is enormous.
So can we go back to tweeting a photo? The purpose of that was yet another security layer, if I'm guessing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So not only
No, not the purpose. The purpose was to actually tap on. That's where you're getting it wrong. Purpose is actually to tap. My purpose is to tap into the potential of the social market. But the layer is the differentiation you're using to market our.
So this is an alternative to Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, so it's an alternative product, and the differentiating factor is that it's just more secure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are trying to differentiate it from Twitter. And
So what's your catchy name again? I'm just kidding.
PhotoTweet.
It's got it has to turn into a verb, right?
Yeah. PhotoTweet.
Right.
So, you had a question, sir?
Yeah, my question was, like you're encrypting the message into the photo, right? Which is really cool. But like, is that all happening in the background, or is it actually like, here's my message from you guys, and the photo's next to it? And if so, what purpose does the photo? Is it just there just as a vehicle for the encryption, or is it like part of the message?
The photo is that's what I said in the beginning. The photo was one of the easiest way to authenticate the profile that works. So yes, it sort of acts as a vehicle to transfer the message to the end user, and all of it happens in the background. But photo also is cool because people like to communicate more. That's why you see Instagram, Wine, and all those features. So we are trying to use that cool feature while also using it as a medium.
So is it grabbing photos like out of my profile, like just random photos on my Facebook, or like
No,
every time I send a message, I have to
photos
click
you
a photo?
click of the class. If you see Rob taking a class, you can click the photo of Rob lecturing and just tweet it with a message. It's going to go to the end user almost instantly saying. So it's essentially a live chat that's more interactive than I got through photos.
But like for me, I have a crappy smartphone, and like taking someone's picture and then like attaching that file and like that's really a
No, it's
cumbersome.
not attaching a file. That's so. If you see your tweet box, right? You have a chat box where you type your tweet. We are trying to open a photo chat box where you just click and the photo directly goes into the chat box, and all you have to do is type your message.
Well, that would be convenient.
Yeah, similar to all the other apps that we have, it accesses your photographs from the phone
Right, not, if I were to do this as an attachment, this is a waste of time.
So what is the next steps for you guys? Because I'm going to be cognizant of time.
So, right now, me and my wife are working on the code for authenticating, that's the biggest part. And we are working on, as I said, streamlining our math models and what we need to do and bringing it into code. So that's where it's at. Our easiest work is going to be how we're going to do the UI user interface, but we are faced with a big question because of cost, because of legal issues. So first of all, we, Santosh, we are not residents here. So typically, we cannot generate revenue unless we have work permits. So we are going to do this free for now, or launch it in India. So that makes it a hard problem for us to overcome, but we are trying to do it free. And the second part of it is whether we should launch it in mobile app or in the web. I'm gunning for mobile app. My wife is saying web. So you're split. We'd like your opinions on that. It's a big question we're having right now. Mobile.
And that seems to be an easy one to resolve. Does anyone think this is a web app?
No. Mobile app? Yeah. I mean, that's where
my camera is located.
That's where I send messages from.
Unless I don't understand, I think I now understand what you're attempting to do, and given what you're attempting to do, you need a photograph. And last time I checked, the place where photographs happen in my world is on this thing. So unless someone can give me a compelling reason why we should have a webcam version of that, I would say that this is about a clear case, given what you're attempting to do, that it's a mobile application.
Yeah, once we probably get that started on the mobile app, we move on to the web app, because as you were saying initially, in India, that's the biggest issue. Like, mobile is still not as prevalent as a web app.
Sure.
And there are so many issues going on, especially in Asian countries, not just India. That's that.
Catch the wave. Right?
So that's where we are.
Okay, so this is ginormous, creating your own social network. So I applaud the audacity of it.
Yeah, that it was my wife. Everyone knows this is it could be a catastrophic failure, or it could be a super success.
Well, there's no such thing as a catastrophic failure.
I mean, if I fail,
Failure, you just eat a turkey sandwich and do something else.
yeah,
I just don't get it. I mean, there's just nothing that we do in the business world is anywhere near a failure. Failure is like heart surgery where people die. Failure is like doing a shitty job being a parent and like having your kid go into therapy. Like this is not failure. This is just like it's a Tuesday. Just get over yourself. Right? This is the cost of failure in business is just minuscule. It's not parenting. It's not even dog training, where if your dog whines a lot because you feed it at the dinner table and you like ruin it forever. That's failure. This is just fun. So good job, guys.